G'day, I'm Tim Thompson. There's a bit of a debate in fencing around attaching wires to steel posts. And there's a lot of theories on this, and I'm going to present a few today, and I'm sure it'll open up a lively debate in the comments section. Chiefly, this debate revolves around running the wires on the outside of the post or putting them through the holes in the post. This topic is of surprising interest to a number of people, so I hope that you enjoy this week's video. Let's get into outie or innie. What's best? Running the wire through the posts or clipping it to the outside. What's better? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Well, here's a few that I've come across. The number one advantage for running your wire through the posts rather than on the outside is that you've got a little bit of movement and flex there. The people that advocate for wire being run through the post more often than not tend to be people with cattle, horses and large animals, because their theory runs something like this. If the animal's going to put a lot of stress on the fence, you want the whole fence to take the burden, not a localized area. And they're worried that these clips here will bind the wire up and locate the force on a smaller area of the fence. That's the theory. So one technique a lot of people use to overcome this problem is to only wrap the clips around the wire once, maximum twice. This still allows a little bit of slip to occur between the clip and the wire. So what's the payoff for running your wire through the post? Well, the first thing you have to remember is since about the 1970s, we've been using heavily galvanized high tensile wire for our fencing and not mild wire like we used to when Dad was around. This poses an issue with the wire running through the post. You can see when the wind blows, it's going to vibrate in the post. There is a constant friction at that point that will rub away that galvanizing around the outside of the wire over time and potentially lead to corrosion of the wire in that location. So you've got to weigh up the advantage of the whole fence tension versus the disadvantage of localized rust, wear and corrosion. The other disadvantage of this system is labor cost. Labor is one of the most expensive things, whether it's your time or a contractor's time, that you're going to deal with on the farm. If you're running out wires and you have to run your wire through every single post, you're going to be walking your wires out. Now, typically with a post every 4 meters these days, that's a lot of time and that's a lot of labor. If you're using a really good quality spinner like the Walters Gen 2 or the Fence Line Solutions spinner, you're going to be able to drive your fence lines and you're going to be able to put those wires out at anything up to 20 kilometers an hour. You've got to consider the cost of labor when you're putting up your fence versus the advantages of running your wire through your holes. Clips, on the other hand, they do have to be put on the posts as well. You're going to spend time, but if you're running sheet mesh or you're running barbed wire, then you're going to have to be tying off to each post anyway. So what are the advantages of tying your wires off with clips? Well, it turns out there are a couple. The biggest advantage is if you get localized post damage and you've got to replace a post, all you have to do is cut that one post off your fence, remove the post, belt in a new one, and you're done. If you had to pull wires out of your post when it was damaged just to replace it, you're either cutting your fence or you're running out a whole heap of wire again. The second advantage is one that people don't think of if they don't have trees on their property. More often than not, if a tree limb or trunk falls on your fence, if your wires are run through your post, there's nowhere for them to go. They'll either break or catastrophically bend. Bent wire is of course immediately weakened and no use for a fence anymore. You'll be up for a new reel of wire. But with the clip system, if you don't put the clips on too tight, when the tree branch falls or the tree trunk falls on the fence, more often than not the clips break and the wire becomes free, and all you have to do is lift it up and clip it to the post again when you're done cutting up your branch. This has happened to me on a number of occasions, and I've been really thankful that I'm an outie and not an innie. My personal opinion on the whole tradition of running wire through the posts, I believe that it's come from our use of old split posts when all we did with fences was run plain wire or barb through the posts. I think that it's been a natural progression when we've come across steel posts for the first time that we treat them the same way as the old split wooden posts, and we say, beauty, there's a hole, we'll stick the wire in the hole. So summing it up, there are some advantages in putting your wire in the post in terms of overall fence load and treating your entire fence as one big spring. But I believe those advantages are certainly outweighed for anyone with trees or anyone who's using multiple types of wire where you're running barb, mesh and plain on the same fence. You're doubling your labour cost, and in my opinion you're not achieving a whole heap of benefit. So have a think about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have I got it right? Have I got it wrong? And do you have any other ideas that you'd like to add to this debate? In the meantime, if you like videos like this, hit the little subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and there's plenty more content, blogs, how-tos and more on timthompson.ag. I'll see you next week.